I get the same question from women in leadership on a daily basis. How do I elevate my wardrobe so it actually looks like leadership and executive level? And if you are in leadership but your wardrobe still feels entry level, that's probably the first thing that comes to your mind. How do I turn my wardrobe so it reads executive? So every time I open my closet, I can confidently pick an outfit, get dressed in 1 minute, walk out the door, attend a meeting, conference, or maybe like a presentation, and feel and look like an elevated version of who I am and be seen on an executive level. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to elevate your corporate outfit from a professional level to an executive level. Hi, my name is Basia and I am a former celebrity stylist turned personal stylist, and for the past 15 years, I've helped executives, directors, CEOs, and successful entrepreneurs walk in a room and immediately look like the woman in charge. And to help you get started, I created a free guide that shows you how to build a polished, put together work wardrobe without defaulting to the usual black suits and gray dresses, and you'll find the link below. So without further ado, let's get started. So the difference between a professional corporate outfit and executive level corporate outfit is drastic. A lot of times we think it has something to do with how expensive the pieces are, how accessorized the outfit is, or that the difference is simply wearing certain colors. But the reality is that many CEOs and leaders who are very successful wear everything from casual outfits to bright dresses, outfits with patterns, colors, textures, and of course, suits. But the difference between the typical professional outfit and executive level corporate outfit is really drastic in how they actually look. So we want to look at the difference between a professional outfit and executive outfit and how to elevate it from really a few different angles. So the first one is the clothes themselves, meaning the actual fabric, the structure, the fit of those clothes, and the type of clothes as well. The second one is how we put those pieces together, because the typical professional outfit is usually generic, basic. But in order to elevate it, we have to put it together in a way that it's more intentional and obviously interesting. Now, the way we combine pieces is often what creates the difference between something that looks like a typical professional outfit and something that reads executive. So first, let's start with the clothes itself, and we will start with the fit. Now, the biggest difference when you want to elevate your wardrobe is making sure that the fit is right. And this applies whether your outfit is more affordable or more expensive, whether it's casual or dressy. Fit is absolutely everything. This is usually the first thing I notice when I work with my clients and we go through the wardrobe. A lot of times they actually have beautiful pieces, but those pieces simply, I would say don't fit them correctly. What do I mean by that? The blazer might be too small and pulling around the bust. The sleeves might be too long, or the shoulders might not sit correctly. And those are the first signs you usually notice. This is also the difference between a typical professional outfit and the way many leaders dress when they look really polished. A professional outfit often looks, more understated and neutral. But when you look at women in leadership who, I would say, dress exceptionally well, whether they are wearing something casual or something dressy, whether they are wearing color or prints, the one thing that always stands out is that their clothes fit them extremely well. And that is really the first sign. Now, the second part, outside of having the great fit, is structure. I'm not talking about always wearing very structured clothes, like a blazer with a more masculine feel, even though that looks absolutely fantastic. I'm talking about how the clothes themselves are structured and how they are made. This is something you can usually see right away. So you want fabrics that have, weight to them. You want your clothes to hold their shape. So if you choose a more structured blazers, you want that blazer to actually keep its shape. You don't want something flimsy that is, made from, like, I would say, cheaper fabric where the construction isn't very clean. The same applies to, let's say, blouses, right? So you want blouses to be made from beautiful fabric and be well cut. They should have like a nice shape and hold that shape on your body, following your natural curves. When it comes to pants, you want to stay away from fabrics and constructions that look overly cheap. So if you are wearing slacks, for example, you want them to have that, beautiful crease down the front. You want the pants to have a structure built into them so they hold their shape. The fabric should feel rich and be beautiful, right? So outside of having like a great fit, you also want clothes that are really well made and have structure. So that is a big difference between like a typical professional look and something that feels more on executive level. Now, the last thing is that you want your clothes to feel modern. And I'm not talking about like following trends or wearing whatever is popular in season. I mean that your wardrobe overall should feel current. And, we want to make sure that pieces don't look, extremely dated. And usually comes down to, I would say, silhouettes and how the clothes fit you. You want those silhouettes to feel modern and relevant. And when people ask me what that actually means, I usually say go for classic lines. So choose clothes that have been, in fashion and then will continue to be in fashion in, let's say, like in 100 years. Things like classic button-up shirts, clean lines like A-line skirts, pencil skirts, pleated skirts, simple classic slacks, crew neck sweaters or cardigans. Those are modern classic silhouettes that will always look elevated and put together, especially if you're aiming for that executive look. So now that you know the three major things we have to pay attention to when it comes to the clothes themselves, now the next step is to learn how to put those pieces together in a way that looks elevated and polished, but on a completely different level, okay? And there are a few simple techniques that you can use, to take an outfit to the next level, okay? Now, the first one is something very simple that I teach my clients, whether we are inside the Dress for Impact program or we are working one-on-one, and that is using contrast. And I absolutely love this technique because it's a very easy way to take an outfit that looks professional but a little bit generic and elevated. And we do that by creating contrast between two pieces, okay? So for example, you might pair something like silk, which has that beautiful shine, with a thicker wool fabric. What's interesting about this combination is that contrast between those two fabrics, right? So immediately this makes an outfit more elevated and more interesting. You don't need a lot of accessories. You don't really need add a lot of extra elements to make that look feel more elevated. You can use the same idea by mixing textures as well. So for example, a tweed blazer with a silk blouse and wool pants. Tweed has that texture and feel more like three-dimensional, while silk is smooth, shiny, and elegant. When you mix those fabrics together, the overall look immediately becomes more interesting and elevated compared to wearing like a typical basic suit. So using contrast between fabrics and textures is a very simple way to elevate an outfit without really needing to rely on a lot of accessories to make it feel more executive. So another contrast that I absolutely love is the contrast between something that is more feminine and something more structured. So we we are pairing two pieces that feel very different. One piece might be more structured and powerful, while the other one's lighter and more feminine. So for example, you could wear like a very well-fitted, structured pair of pants, or like a sharp blazer with something softer, like a lighter skirt, or more feminine pair of pants. Now, you could always wear like a structured vest, for example, or a blazer, and pair it with like a softer blouse underneath. Again, the contrast is what makes this outfit much more interesting, because you are combining pieces that are very different from each other. And of course, you can do that with, the same color palette. The pieces do not have to be different colors to create that beautiful contrast. But you can also play with colors if you want. For example, you might wear like a blazer in a strong color and pair it with like a neutral pants or a neutral skirt. That contrast between structure and softness and sometimes color is what gives that outfit more depth and makes it feel much more elevated. Now, another look that I absolutely love and something I help my clients use often is a monochromatic look. But instead of going for like this typical monochromatic outfits in black or navy, I usually encourage my clients to use color. What I often suggest is choosing your power color. For many women and many of my clients, that can be anything from soft pastels to like bright shades like purples. Now, if you want to wear a monochromatic outfit but avoid the typical black, navy, or beige, you can absolutely choose something like this beautiful burgundy and a deep green or like dark purple. These colors still feel very professional, but they are not standard black or navy that everyone else is wearing. And when the fit is right, the fabric are rich and the structure of that outfit is strong, a monochromatic look like this one can be incredibly striking. It's a beautiful way to elevate your outfit from like a typical professional look to something that feels much more executive. And another technique that I absolutely love for elevating pieces is having a few basics in your closet that include beautiful details. Those details can take more generic or basic outfit and instantly elevate them. Let me give you an example, okay? So let's say that you have a black suit in your wardrobe that actually fits you really, really well, but it feels a little bit boring and generic. Now, the one way to elevate it, instead of wearing like a simple white top underneath, choose a beautiful blouse with like a bow detail around the neckline. That one change immediately makes an outfit look more interesting and more refined. So if you have a lot of more generic pieces in your closet, pairing them with pieces that have that beautiful details can really take the look to the next level. The same idea works if you pair something solid like that black blazer with a, let's say, like a printed blouse underneath. That pop of print instantly makes the outfit more interesting, especially if the print is classic, clean, and relatively small. So if you have many basic pieces in your wardrobe and you want to elevate them in a simple way, try pairing them with something that creates contrast. That contrast could be from texture, color, or fabric. Or you can just choose pieces that have interesting details like a bow at the neckline, or subtle print, or a beautiful texture. And those small details can make very big difference in how elevated the entire outfit feels. Now you know how to elevate your look from professional to executive. If you want to work with me, you can do it through Dress for Impact program or work with me one-on-one. And both of those options, you're going to find more details about it in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next Wednesday.